that we've been handed down until we reach the top. Ain't no time for sport and play, and we ain't gon' never stop till the money got our face. Billionaire visions, generational wealth. Gotta break the curses that we've been handed down until we reach the top. Ain't no time for sport and play, and we ain't gon' never stop till the money got our face. That's the dream. I paint the picture, the first self-made billionaire who came from prison.
Okay. What we got? Yo. It's Allah King Wise, also known as Wise Shaheed, right here with another edition of Mental Wealth, the Mental Wealth Podcast. We're here with another episode, another edition. All praises due. And so this is the Mental Wealth Live, Mental Wealth Podcast live. We live. Like, this is not scripted. This, we don't have any cut going on. It's uncut. It's raw. And we bringing it to you in a way where this is how you can get the realness, because it's real time. Everything is real time with me. We're talking about real time. And so what I want to get into today with everybody is, of course, we say life is business and business is war. Life is business, business is war. So that's what we come in with when we talk about mental wealth on the Mental Wealth Podcast live. And we're here today. Today is October 31st, 2025. We're here, Mental Wealth Podcast live. And you hear me say this a lot, that success has receipts. And when I say success has receipts, I mean that what you call success, it's able to be seen through tangible results. Now, of course, we're dealing with mental wealth, which starts with things that's intangible, which is in the mind, which are thoughts, which you really can't see from the essence aspect of thoughts, but we can see the manifestation of thoughts. And so when I say success has receipts, I'm basically saying that when you have someone who is speaking about, I can show you how to achieve success, or they're speaking about, this is the way you go about obtaining success, or I have success in my own life and business, you know, where are the receipts of it? Meaning that, where are the results? How can we know for a fact that you have achieved success based off what you say that you know, based off the information that you say that you have? How are we able to verify, validate that what you're talking about actually works, or what you're talking about is actually something that can be utilized and applied to obtain the results that you say comes from the information that comes from what you are saying as, this is how you can achieve this. It's a lot of people out there today that making promises of, well, I can show you how to get this, I can show you how to get that. And a lot of it comes from two main uh two main marketplaces. You have those that's coming from the life coaching, then you have those that's coming from the business coaching, and then some you have coming from life, and from I come from the business perspective, showing you how life is business and business war. And so when you hear people speaking about, well, I can show you how to achieve this, I can show you how to reach this goal or achieve this type of success, then it's all about success has receipts. What are the results of what you're talking about? Who can we see as a testimony of what you are talking about? And that's what I'm going to be doing throughout the next episodes that we have. on the Mental Wealth Podcast, I'm gonna be bringing some people up here that show the evidence of what I'm talking about. Because I'm not just here talking just to be talking from, a perspective of saying things just to try to get people to give me the attention, or, people doing things for likes. And of course, I'm dealing with a business model. When I'm saying I'm dealing with a business model, is that I'm here to provide life and business information, and provide it in a way that it is able to be utilized as a service for the people. And in exchange for this service to the people, then we are able to engage in a relationship of value, exchanging value, aka I provide you with a service that allows you to evolve from one level to the next level to achieve some goals that you have set for yourself. And even if you don't already have goals set, show you how you can set some goals for yourself, achieve those goals for yourself, and then at the same time be able to pass these methods on, or this information on, to some other people. And so from that framework is, I teach the knowledge of self for free. I don't charge anyone to teach them the knowledge of self. And in particular, I deal with teaching younger people. I mentor young people daily in the knowledge of self. That's something I just do based off my foundation of life, my culture of I self, Lord and Master, of me being a 5%er. This is what we do on a regular basis, just being a 5%er. Now, on the other side of that, with me being a 5%er, I also have, you know, my interaction in the world of business. You know, how people make a living for themselves. You got some people who go to work for companies and have a pathway for themselves in a career on a professional level. You have some people who are entrepreneurs, that take it upon themselves to put together a system where they provide products or services, and that's how they make their living. So you're going to have some people who go into a career and work for someone else's company, and then you have some people who set up their own company and provide jobs and business relationships to where individuals can be entrepreneurs, or they can work as employees. So those are the different ways that you look at economics and the world of business, but also life, because you choose to go about these things based off your life preference. So, nevertheless, with me, I provide life and business coaching from my own system, Wazetics OS Life Biz Infrastructure, where I set up a 7-pillar system based off my book Wazetics. And that's just a philosophy of life and business that I structured together to provide a blueprint, which is also, I call it the God print, for individuals who come from underserved communities. And I like to say, I show individuals how to come from being underserved to unstoppable. So today, I'm going to lay down some of the basics of what the receipts are from what I have seen to be success in providing this information. Because I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for a very long time. And for those who know my backstory, I come from humble beginnings, basically situations where I lost everything, completely lost everything. And again, emphasizing thing. I lost everything, but I didn't lose my mind. I didn't lose my sense of sanity. I kept a certain state of mind throughout that entire struggle. When I was experiencing those trials and tribulations, where I was challenged with different obstacles of material loss, and in some cases, there was loss of freedom. And just being transparent, going through those trials and tribulations, I maintained a sense of peace in my mind. Not saying that I didn't experience pressure, like in the other episode of mental wealth. I spoke about how the brain can be looked at as a muscle, and how when you meet different challenges in your life, where we call them problems, and then you got to solve these problems, and these problems are what allow you the opportunity to grow in your brain expression, which is called intelligence. You grow in your ability to solve problems more faster, more efficiently, based off you solving problems. The more you solve problems with intention, knowing that this is the way you have to go about embracing the problem, because it starts from your mindset, how you look at the problem. So we're not going to really go into that part today. That's in the other episode that you can go check that out. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Facebook. You also can find it on TikTok. Nevertheless, today I just want to provide some things that you could just see for yourself and understand what is the value that I'm bringing. What is this all about? So check this out. I have right here, this is a program that I taught. It's called Life and Business Plan. So this is a life and business plan group workbook. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I taught this from 2012 to 2022. This is something I taught to individuals. I taught this in classroom setting. I taught this one-on-one to individuals, group coaching, and one-on-one coaching. And this is basically where Wazetics came out of. Wazetics is basically the sum total of my entire journey of life and business. But the framework system started with Life and Business Plan Group. So it was Life and Business Plan Group. I facilitated this, like I said, from 2012 to 2022. And then in 2015, I came up with, I don't know if you can see this like this right here, probably. Get a good shot. Is that a good framework? I don't think that's a good shot. Well, it's investing in community action networking. Let me see if I want to get so y'all can see it. Can you see it? I don't think you see it like that. Maybe that's it. Yeah. There we go. Investing in community action networking. I can. I taught that. I taught I can from 2015 to 2022. Under that framework of basically, so the I can is a supplement to life and business planning. So life and business planning is basically where I was showing individuals how your life and business work hand in hand. And the same way you have like your reputation in life, you have a resume, right? You know your reputation is your resume. So I showed individuals how that works. The same way you set up your life budget, your budget for how you pay your bills, the same way you set up an income statement, balance sheet when it comes to your business. So is that parallel that exists throughout life and business plan, which is also what goes into the Wazetics and Wazetics OS Life Biz infrastructure. And then also I began to I don't know, you can see this. I began to teach another program. It's called Street. Street strategize to resolve everyday and battle training. So Street was something that I put together. It was more geared towards street, individuals and street organizations, aka what people call gangs. Giving my young brothers some guidance on how to evolve from that basic primitive street level, evolve, to getting into more understanding of what it is to be in an organization. Because there's nothing wrong with being in an organization. It's just, what do you do in being a part of an organization. And so I was showing them how, the history of gangsterism in the United States and how individuals, they dealt with it this way, they dealt with it that way, but some of them evolved and left their life behind. And some of these things became where we get a lot of our political legislation, where we get a lot of our economic corporate level things from. Not to get into all that right now, but that's just, give them some inspiration. Like, just you watch the movie The Godfather, you see how, Michael Corleone was into more corporate style things. Like, look, he didn't really want to be a gangster, but he just happened to go into certain things because of his family. But his goal was, I want to take everything legit. So I tried to show the young brothers that, and also how to manage conflict. That was one of the things that's emphasized in Street. How do you manage conflict? So that's just some of the things that I've been teaching. I've been mentoring individuals in this type of stuff for years. Um and in doing that, you know, you gain more understanding of how to interconnect with people, how to basically, how do you teach, how do you instruct, how do you coach, how do you consult. You learn more and more just by dealing with people hands on. And of course, I've had my own personal training from collegiate standpoint, and going through different courses of learning certain things from psychology, philosophy, business, um military strategies, all these things just incorporated into my entire brand of Wazetics OS Life Based Infrastructure. So that's what I really wanted to lay down for you today on this Wazetics episode of mental health. Mental what? Wealth. Mental wealth. Yeah. So that's something to really look at when you examine individuals that you see here today on YouTube. Because see, one thing about it, you can package something, right, and make it appear to be something. You can package something and produce, a imagery for people to look at, and it really might not be all that what it appears to be on the face. So with me, again, I come from a raw perspective, meaning that it's unfiltered, it's genuine, because I'm not coming with a bunch of trickery to try to trick people with manipulating with information, making false promises just to get somebody's money and all those things. I'm coming from a real genuine space, a real genuine place where I've traveled through trials and tribulations. I've traveled through the journey of life and business to obtain a certain level of success that is inside the mental first, which is why I'm emphasizing mental wealth. And I've been wise counsel for many individuals in situations of life and death, right? And so just going through these experiences, it allowed me to gain, more experience on emotional intelligence, more experience on how to relate to people. How do you give knowledge to a person? How do you, how do you teach someone and it be effective, where the information that you are relaying to them, they are able to receive it and most of all apply it to their own life, and then taking it to another level for them to be able to reproduce that information and teach it to someone else, right? Because we keep it on, we keep it going, each one teach one. So that's what it is with mental wealth. And also noticing a lot of individuals with a heavy burden mentally and striving to cope with the heavy burdens of just how they looking at life. And it don't have to be as heavy as a lot of people are taking it. And so that's another reason why I'm coming with mental wealth in the way that I do, so that even though you might not be someone that's an entrepreneur, you might not want to own your want to go through all those things that it takes to do that. You might not be in a place where that's something that you see for yourself. So at the same time, I offer information and guidance and a blueprint on how you focus inside your mind and certain exercises that you could do to keep yourself grounded mentally to be able to deal with the demands of everyday living. Because a lot of people are dealing with things where they just not able to really cope with everyday living for whatever reason. And then you have, like I said, all this fluff out there about, oh, I can show you this, or take this pill, take this medicine, and you know, all of that right there. So I try to give you like some holistic options. And again, like in my last episode, investing in yourself, I'll show you how to invest in yourself. And from a life and business perspective, it takes a lot of sacrifice to do that. It takes a lot of sacrifice to invest in yourself. And sometimes a person might not know what to invest in themselves. So sometimes you need that type of mentorship because you might then come from being around people to provide that for you. Yeah, at the end of the day, you have different people that's providing different uh things of value. Like in society, you have doctors, you have politicians, you have auto mechanics, you have therapists for whatever things that they give therapy on. You have what else we got? We got police, you got firefighters, you got all these different professions where people are providing different information, different products, and different services to someone else. And that's how we keep society moving as it moves. So with me, I'm bringing my portion, I'm bringing my part into the entire framework of society and in the market of business as well. Because let's be clear, business everyday part of living life. There is no business. That's why I come with life, business, infrastructure. So I started out as life and business plan group. So I took the and out. So it's just life biz. It's not life and, it's life biz, meaning that it's the same. Life biz is the same. Life is business. Business is life. And it's war. Why do I say it's war? It's war because war is conflict. Inside of life, conflict is a natural part of it. Conflict is natural. It's all how you manage conflict. And a lot of times we were never told, how do you manage conflict? And now, not just how you manage conflict, how do you master conflict? Mastering conflict don't mean you don't have conflict. It don't mean you don't have engagement with people that's disagreements. It doesn't mean that you don't have obstacles and struggles of pressure. It means that you have developed a way to not succumb to these things where overburdens and overwhelm your mental and cause you to drop down into negative states, what is called anxiety and depression. That's what it's about. Because somewhere along the line, we've been given misinformation about life and business to the point where just living life has become overwhelming to a lot of people. It's like a big burden to many people. And so in most cases though, let me get this part in there. In a lot of cases, it's some people who have structured some stuff that produces that field of operation. And when I say produces that field of operation, you have some people who have structured society in a way where misinformation is so much part of the norm, meaning that people are miseducated or being taught the wrong thing on purpose. Some people have been taught the wrong thing on purpose, and some people have learned the wrong things with good intention to learn, right? And they became teachers of the wrong thing. They got good intention though. So, for example, you might have, let's say you were born to a household that they not into financial literacy. Because why? They didn't learn financial literacy from their parents or adults that were a part of their nourishing and development as, growing up as a child. They didn't learn that. So now they are giving to their children only what they know. This is the things that they have experienced. So because they never learned these things, they cannot teach these things. But they have good intentions. So when your mother or your father was giving you what they gave you as far as information on, go get an education and go get a good job. That's all they could give you because that's all they had to give. So it was with good intention. And although it was with good intention, it was not good enough. That's like the sad part about it. And even though it's sad, life itself doesn't operate from just because you are ignorant to something that life itself stop operating on you. Like gravity still exists whether you are aware of how it works or not. And I've went through breaking that down before in the episode where I was talking about gravity and with the little child. I was talking about my daughter that she don't understand gravity. She don't know that if we got her on the couch and we're not paying attention to her and she move a certain way that she will actually fall off the couch and could potentially hit her head on the floor and really hurt herself. She don't know that. She is naive to that. But gravity don't stop operating just because she is naive to gravity itself. Just because she don't know how gravity operates, don't stop gravity from operating. So let me say that part again. So it can really sink in. Just because my daughter does not know how gravity operates, don't mean that gravity not going to operate upon her. Keeping it simple, if she's sitting on a couch not being attended to, meaning being aware of, and she move off the edge, she's gonna fall. She's going to fall and she's gonna hit the floor, right? So that's just how life is. So even though you might not know about financial literacy, you might not understand how money works, you might not know how the economy operates on a local, state, global level, local, state, national, international level. You might not know how the local economy also relates to the global economy. You might not realize that. You might not understand how the stock market operates. You might not understand how the bond market operates. You might not understand how the interest rate operates or what is inflation. You might not even understand any of those things. That don't mean that those things still don't affect you. Those things still have a it operates within your life whether you know it or not. And when you don't know what you don't know, now you are moving through life dealing with some things that is causing you to be overwhelmed, and don't have to be that way. Joe, think about that. Listen. You could be moving through life. You could be moving through life a certain way, experiencing some mental things and some physical experiences that really is causing you detrimental results. But it don't have to be that way. It don't have to be that way. What do I mean? That it don't have to be that way. What I mean is, if you had the right knowledge, if you had the proper information, you can avoid these things. And in some cases, people do got the information. They got the knowledge. But what they lack is application. They lack the energy within themselves to use it. And so this is why a coach or a counselor, a mentor is so important, because now sometimes you need someone to hold you accountable with good intention, not just necessarily good intention, but with your well-being in mind. Sometimes you need a coach. Sometimes you need someone to push you where you're not pushing yourself, because again, even the best players in the game have a coach. Even the best player in basketball, Steph Curry, LeBron James, even when people say the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan had who? Phil Jackson. Kobe Bryant had Phil Jackson. So even the individuals that we look at as being the greatest of the sport, they still had someone that was a coach that gave them another look at what they already knew. But sometimes you can't see certain things based off how you might be attached to it in the midst of, like you're in the midst of it. So you might can't see. So someone else might can see it from a different perspective and give you some insight and some guidance on how you can be even more successful or get to be successful if you're not successful. So that's what it is with Life Biz Infrastructure. This is how it is with Wazetics OS, Life Biz Infrastructure. That's what we're talking about on this Mental Wealth podcast, and we live. So like, subscribe. We on TikTok, we on Instagram, we on Facebook, we on YouTube, we all over. And we're going to keep bringing you this information. It gets even more valuable as it go along. You on this journey with us. You're on this journey with me. You're on this journey with my team. And we taking you with us as we travel from one level to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. Because life is business and business is war. Life is business and business is war. So therefore, you got to have strategy, tactics, and maneuvers in order to be successful. And that's what you're going to get with us. Life Biz Infrastructure, Wazetics OS Life Biz Infrastructure. We coming with tactics, maneuvers.
Marriage is arranged, interlocking bonds, link up the genes, keep the blood flowing strong, handing down the knowledge, safeguard the traditions, military style weapons for protection, state of the art, high-tech connections, tailor-made jewelry, diamond mine investments, real estate in multiple states across continents, multinational corps and conglomerates, felons with passports, memberships and resorts, civil rights back plus gun rights from the courts, meet a boss, from rags to riches, from the clinks to the streets. I had the vision like ancient Kemetic kings, building monumental structures, no time for sport and play, and we ain't gonna never stop till the money got our face. Billionaire visions, generational wealth, gotta break the curses that we've been handed down. Until we reach the top, ain't no time for sport and play, and we ain't gonna never stop till the money got our face.